Everyone on Not a Straight Line Live, this is your Act 1 beginner's call. Beginners to the stage, please. Act 1 beginners.
Hello, dear listener. It's another gorgeous spring day here in England. Oh my word, we've been so blessed with great weather over the last week or so. Fingers crossed it continues. And grass needs another mow today. It being Saturday and all that, got to get those chores done. And I was reflecting just as I was coming out into the garden that I should probably have given a few more names on the back of yesterday's episode of people who the fact that I'm around them makes me more certain that I will be able to bring to life what I've got in my mind, and just jotted some names down. And first and foremost, my wife Andrea. Oh my God, if it wasn't for her and everything she is and everything she does, I'm not sure that anything would get off the starting line. So yeah, definitely my wife. And then in no particular order, and I wanted to get their names out there. So really, in case they ever do listen to this podcast, they don't say to themselves, "Hey, why wasn't I mentioned?" And if I have accidentally and inadvertently left your name off the list, then it is an accident and it is inadvertent. But the people that spring to mind, other than the ones I mentioned yesterday, who me being around makes me more certain of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Jodie Bentley, Gareth Everson, Stuart Prestage, Rachel Elnor Love, Jason Leister, Angela Ty, Christina Castro, Ashley Harvey, Casey McGee, and Rich Morelli. So who's in your list, dear listener? Really great opportunity to write it down and let them know. It's all those people whose names I just read out, I will message them and let them know that they got a mention, because I want them to know how important them being in my life is. So if you're one of those that his name I just read out, then hello. Thanks for being in my life. Thank you for being you. And thank you for who I am as a result of you being who you are. That wasn't all I wanted to talk about. I did also want to, I guess in a way, just put out into the universe my answers to the questions in the final email from Jason Leister as part of his Do What You Love and Prosper. And as much as anything, to give the questions to you, dear listener, so that you can perhaps reflect on them, bearing in mind that these are questions which have been built up and built on over the last 8 weeks. So it might be a challenge to answer some of them, as indeed it was even for me to answer them. And I've been going through the program. So just at the top, what are your strongest gifts? I wrote, activating people and projects. From a human designer Gene Key's perspective, I guess it's my gift of transmutation, taking something that isn't there in its fullest potential and then making it manifest. What is the primary problem you will solve for the world? And I answered, help frustrated artists trapped in a job or a business they started that they hate, in inverted commas, whatever form that might take. Help them take a second chance at a creative career. The next question is, what is your business? I said, it's me. Whether that's at peterdaly.dickson.com or notastraightline.life. Not entirely sure where the home of it is. I guess peterdaly.dickson.com is as good as any. who is it for? Who's this business for? And I answered, people who feel trapped by where their previous choices have got them creatively and artistically, including those previously incarcerated. What makes it different? What makes this business different? And I answered, who it's for, and the fact that clients get their, what I call their visibility foundations, what Jason calls the media platform. So that platform on which you regularly, consistently publish to your ideal audience. So being part of the collaboration with Rob and Matt with Activate Your Podcast, and the podcast being the most trivial and efficient way to firstly engage with your thoughts. I just think of what's happened with me and for me over the last just under a year now that I've been doing this podcast, and just under a month since I've been doing these daily episodes. Every client that I work with will have will have a podcast which they can then use as the basis for their media platform. We'll obviously need to call it something a bit sexier than that. But anyway, and that's done via Activate Your Podcast. Next question was, how and what do you charge for what you do /make/offer? And I said, not entirely sure. I'm leaning towards one-to-one and or group coaching, though podcast activation is always part of the offer. Next question was, how do you plan on reaching your target market? I said, I don't know. I've got a one-to-one course, 60-minute one-to-one call with Jason on Tuesday, which is the final part of the 8-week program. So I'm hoping that I'll get even greater clarity on my answers to these questions, not least of which that last one there about how I plan on reaching my target market. Then he says, tell me about your media platform, or why you think not having one is a better option. I said my media platform is peterdaly-dickson.com/YouTube, which combines my podcast conversations with guests, my daily podcast episodes, and weekly videos talking to my ideal client. Maybe that's you, dear listener. And my daily self-tapes, which is my creative practice, my daily creative practice. I then said, I also intend to start a daily email which talks briefly about what went live on my media platform that day. The next question was, what parts of your business are you clear about? And I said, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and also how to easily and efficiently launch a client's podcast. That's what we've been working on the past few months at Activate Your Podcast. The next question was, what parts of your business are you not clear about? I said, my offer, and how and where to reach my target market. Now, the penultimate question then was, what excites you most about this business? That was easy for me to answer. I said, I get to work and collaborate with creative and artistic people. And the last question is, what is the biggest obstacle you see to your success? I said, not sufficiently differentiating myself from all the other coaches out there, some of whom are far more qualified and experienced than me. And I guess there's a hint of imposter syndrome coming in there as well, which I'm sure Jason will bash out of me on Tuesday. So, yeah, that's it. Just energetically putting out into the world who I am, why I am, what I'm about, what I'm here for. And maybe if any of that resonates with you, dear listener, and you want to have a chat, then just stay till the end of the episode and you can find out how. Just remember, I love you. Oh, yes, and one thing. Before you go, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Not a Straight Line. If anything in this episode or any of the episodes has stirred something in you, that quiet voice, that little niggle saying there's got to be more than this, or that ache in your heart when you see others living their creative dreams, don't let another year slip by. I've been where you are, trapped, watching my artistic self slowly fade away, but I made it out, and you can too. Let's chat about your second chance. head to notastraightline.life/chat, because the world needs your creativity, not your compliance. Until tomorrow, love and be loved.